should mention, just don't necessarily expect the children and grandchildren to do the scanning. One of the experiences we've had in my family is I kind of set aside Sunday afternoons to do a lot of scanning of historical photos and documents and things that I wanted to get digitized and preserved that way. And so usually what will happen is my kids will be passing by and they'll notice something sitting on the table and what's that? And we'll start talking about it. And then occasionally it's interesting how my daughter, who's 10, she'll say to her younger brother, who's 8, "Oh, you got to see this," and he'll run. But if I say, "Hey, come look at this," whatever. But once they start getting each other involved and interested, it's become fun. And so she said at one point, "Well, I'd like to scan some stuff." And I said, "Well," because these that I'm working on are old ones, and some I've had to clean, had mold issues and other things. And so I said, "Well, you know what?" I said, "I've got this really cool scanner that would be just your size." And so I took my flip pal, and I said, "Why don't I have you scan for me the pictures of our family before you were born and before digital cameras existed?" We didn't have all of that to do, and so I've got all these photos that I need scanned. And so she will sit and scan those with me and talk about who's who and who. Look, here's her brother who's 24, and him as a little kid. So then one day, I had gotten from my parents some negatives of my grandmothers that were from the 50s. And they were all different, fun, unusual sizes. And I was trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to do with these? And am I going to have to get them printed and that kind of thing? And then I heard about an app that would let me do some stuff with those. So I pulled those negatives out one day, and she said, "What in the world are those?" And I said, "Okay, yeah, now I feel old." But I explained the process of the negative and what exactly it was, and I started to do this process where you use a combination of an iPad with an iPhone, or you could use 2 iPads, 2 iPhones, or whatever. But you use these 2 and sync it, so you'll see, I didn't take the original experience that we had, which was so fun, because she was just so excited. And as soon as her mom came home, she said, "I've got to show this to Mom." And so a few weeks ago, her grandparents came down, and mainly these negatives were my mom's negatives. And so with my dad and Mom there, I said, "Why don't we film Sophie showing that to Grandma and Grandpa?" And so this is a brief myself. Great grandma that we put on the spot. So I got the negative. Well, okay. So she takes a picture and then says use. And turns it into a positive.
That's Jim.
That's me. What? Oh, show you. You want to try another one?
Yeah. What did you do?
Just line it up. Here, I want to see who this is. That's amazing. And hit use. Here's a picture of who, Dad?
Yeah, that's my mother, your great-grandma.
Her great-grandma. Her great-grandma. And that is that great-grandma's house in Boise, Idaho.
Which is no longer there.
Right.
The whole
And these were all, at least according to the note here, taken in 1953.
That's amazing.
Okay, here is one. Let's try this one. Okay, that one I got. And you can do slides, you can do any size of negative, and it puts the template there for you. That's my father's father in the back of my father's board.
That's a picture of my father. Your grandmother doesn't even see.
So then you can also do this, where if you've got a really big kind of a size, you can see the negative, and this one we do as a full page, and then you just
Wow. That is, my family, that must be Kathy as a baby. And my brothers and sisters.
Pretty cool, huh?
Very cool.
Toby likes doing it. He doesn't.
So what is the name of the iPad app?
The name of the iPad app is Hello Photo.
Hello?
Hello Photo. And it's, I think it was about $2.
And
But,
is there
yeah.
an Android one?
Pardon?
Is there an Android?
I am not sure.
And what are you doing to patch together your photos and your video and everything on here? What program are you using to patch together your photos?
Oh, I'm using a Mac program. I used iMovie to put together the video. iMovie, is what gave me the transitions and things that way. So you can see, that for her, it was like, she'd look at the negative and go, okay, I really can't see what's up there, but then it was like this unveiling, and so then she'd say, okay, who's this? And we'd explain it, and sometimes I'd have to pull out a chart to go, okay, but it was the aunt, my dad's sister that he mentions, it's a baby. My daughter just got to really kind of meet, for the first time that she would remember her, this last spring when we went up to a conference in Rexburg. And she really bonded with my aunt, and so she thought that was so cool. Here's a picture of Aunt Kathy, who's now in her late 50s, and she was 2 years old. So she was so excited to do that, and then of course at the end, her mom was taunting her with the camera. That's why I think of things she was making. But okay.